Hello guys, in our previous video we managed to create articles, users and dashboard. So basically we have intertwined three functions in one. So basically before you continue you have to log in into that application. So that is one. Things are done right. So my thought was, in this video we are going to create roles and permissions for users to use inside this application. So we have created the logins, logout, the profile. So what next? What should we do next? So let's create users and permissions inside this application, and my choice of this is going to be Spati, not Spati but Laratrust. Okay, so we have a very good documentation at Spati and we need a package for it. As I told you earlier on, if you want to have anything you need to use the composer. So the composer is going to be our friend. Go to the installation page, and then what you require is composer require Signacle Laratrust. Copy that and then select and then paste it on your terminal, and then it's going to collect all the packages for Signacle and then it's going to install into your platform. Okay, so that is one. And then we are going then now to hit the second on the second command line into the terminal. So we are going to activate that Laratrust. Give it a second to install. We give it a second to install. So you have to be a little patient. If your internet is not that good, it might take a while, but if you have a fast internet, it will always do as fast as possible. So all this information is being as we wait, this information is being stored into the database. Remember, you want to access your database is localhost php my admin. Okay, localhost php my admin. So you get your code ready. That is how you get whatever users have been installed in your application. So as we can still check it's still installing. Yeah, definitely it's still installing. It's adding that functions. So we might reload our page. So this one has to be this Laratrust has to be configured, and then so we install it and then we configure it. Okay, so with that, just give it a second. Our database is up and running, and then we are using introduction app. You can see we have installed users, and inside the database users you can install basically now you have the name, email, then the password. You can see the password is also hashed. It is hashed and salted. So give it a second to complete this process. Give it a process, and then I think my CSS is missing something. My terminal is missing something. I need to turn it on. And something is missing. I think the HTML auto loads is missing, something like that, because HTMLs need to be loaded correctly. That's my I'm looking at it, because basically HTML are not being loaded. To load those extensions, you just go to extensions and then look for HTML. I think HTML should work. HTML, Bootstrap. These ones are the ones that are installed. These are the ones that have been installed in my Laravel controller, Laravel HTML. Let me see. Something is PHP sniffer. This is depreciated. Let's just let me see that if we repeat what will happen. sorry for that. Let's just continue with our tutorial. At this point, let's enable Laratrust. Okay, so you PHP artisan vendor publish Laratrust tags Laratrust, and then it's going to do that. And then let's go back to the documentation. Sorry, I made you I lost you. So at this point, you need to set up the Laratrust. You're going to select copy. You're going to select PHP artisan Laratrust setup, and then this is going to set up your Laratrust. So it's going to ask you to create roles and permission into your tables and databases. You will accept yes, and then it's going to add some functions onto the model. Basically, it's going to add the Laratrust functions and Laratrust into the model. At the same time, it's also going to add permissions into permissions model. So that is one. And then two, after you have set up your Laratrust, you can implement them physically into your application. Right now, I don't want to do the migration or do the dump or anything. I just want to go inside the we call them usage, and then we are going to set up a seeder. Okay, I once talked about a seeder. Seeder is the function that creates users into a table. Like you create some functions into a table automatically. So you're going to type PHP artisan seeder. You're going to type that. And then after this seeder, we are going to create those seeder. We are going to create now. We are going to add that seeder. Control C. So basically, it has created for us a configuration seeder there. Let me just open it up. So this is the seeder. We need to create a user. We're going to create users. These users are going to have specific roles. Okay, they'll have create, read, update, delete. Those are the roles and structures that are going to be put in place for your Laravel application to work. So you can change this seeder into something like admin, something like that, or different roles, different permissions for the people you are going to set up for your system. Okay, so I'm going to put like administrator. I can just remove the top one, which is okay, and then to have admin, user, and this, let's say users, and then clients. Okay, yes. Maybe you have some clients, and then you have given them permissions like that. So with that, you are going to set up those roles like that. And then after you have set up the roles, you are now going to call, as the database starts running, you're going to call that seeder so that after the has happened, the migration has happened, because when you do the migration, this information will be inserted into the database. So you put on Laratrust. So basically, we go back to files and explore this side, and then you are going to add on the seeder, database seeder. Now we are going to call this seed here. Okay, and then you're going to add that, and then when the roles and permissions are being created, that permissions will be sealed, and then that information will be added into the database. So let's dive into the database. Let's dive into this application and see that this application is right and it's working. So to do that, you're going to now to do migration. Okay, so after this, all this, now then I want to do the migration. So PHP artisan migrate. Okay, so PHP artisan migrate. I'll do the PHP artisan migrate. Now it is going to create the stable seeder and all those features that the features for login, log out into your database. Okay, so it's going to do all those functions. Okay, so PHP artisan migrate, PHP artisan migrate. So there's nothing to migrate. So let's we're going to drop this table, this database. If you don't know how to drop a database, then I'm going to teach you. This is the first way. You're going just to go into that your MySQL admin, and then you're going to have that we call introduction table. So that table, you're going to databases, and then you're going to select all. This is mechanical way of dropping a database. Okay, dropping, deleting. Okay, so just drop that and say yes. It's going to delete everything. Okay, also that, and then you drop. Okay, and then you have deleted everything on the database. That's the term dropping. So you come again here. If you reload this thing, it will have an error. Database does not, SQL does not exist. Okay, so let's clean it up again. Just do PHP artisan migrate. Then it's going to create all those things and all those features, all tables that are including the Laratrust setup. That's the new function that has been updated on our database. And then after that you will do seed. You will seed that information. Okay, so right now if you register users, these users will have roles and permissions. Okay, and to do that you need to add those roles to the views that are expected to be. So let's say when you come here, login, it will redirect you to. So at this point, log out. We have not added the roles and permissions to this user interface. Okay, but when you can add here on this form, either somebody is logging as an administrator, if somebody is logging as a normal user, if somebody is logging, let's say this website has 2 layers of security, right? If it has 2 layers of security, you will just put one as a default. When somebody logs into a default, then it is going to take the default role, and then if somebody is logging as administrator, then he will be given an elevated role. So that is how we are going to look at it, and I'm still going to explain it further and further. So with that, we're going to go back and register user, log out, going to register. Remember, we deleted everything on the database, so we're going to register. We're going to register another user like that. So we have registered another person. You can see the database is not yet broken. The database yet is not broken. It's a very clean way of doing these things. So we need now to set up roles. At this point, we have a very clear way of how Laravel has, Laratrust has. We have inserted roles and permission into the database, and now we need now to add those permissions either to each user. What I mean to say is you have different roles and different permissions for the people who are logging into your applications. Let's say you are the super administrator. You want to see all the users who are in your system, right? And this information is not relevant to the person who is writing articles. That is role and permission to different types of people that are visiting your website. So what I mean is an article, an editor will be able to look inside will be able to create articles, and he'll be able to edit articles and do all that. That is given the term CRUD, the create, read, update, delete, for all the functions that he performs. And then the super administrator is able to now to assign roles, permissions to to this editor. Either he's able to read, he's able to moderate. Those are the functions. So that's what I'm trying to explain to you about. So in the next video, we are going to allow those roles and permissions as it was illustrated on our Laratrust seeder. We can have those roles and permissions, like user is able to do some specific functions. He's able to reach some specific pages. Let's say he's able to access all the users. He's able to access all the clients, something like that. Control C. You can see that you can add user can access clients. So this is how you configure. And then clients, you're able to configure clients, and he's able to delete, to edit, to update. So this is how you are going to configure those roles and permission. And then the user is able just to access his profile. He's able to update his profile, and then update profile, and then read his profile. He cannot be able to create a profile, so that's why he's not given the role of the role of creating. So a user is able. So that is how you manifest, or you assign roles and permissions to your specific persons inside your database. So in the next video, we want to dive in. We want to create those roles and permissions and give them life into the front end, right? So basically, you do the things from the back end. The roles and permissions are going to be given on the back end. We are going to add a table here, like we are going to add list of all users here, and then user can also be able to create articles here. So it's going to be the next roller coaster, and it's going to be technical for others, but if you have not, I'm going to go as slow as possible. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, be part of us, and remember, Zach Animate Studios, creativity one step at a time. Don't forget to subscribe and share. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend.